Welcome back, everybody. We've moved on over to the kitchen with Amanda McKean, who is a nutrition and mindset coach and Tupperware specialist. And we love when we can have Amanda here to get us healthy, get us organized, help us meal prep, all the things. And so thank you. Welcome back.
Yeah, thanks for having me back.
Absolutely. So we're not, I think the last few times that you've been on, we've talked a lot about meal planning and sort of getting organized. And if you don't, then maybe you won't eat, which is what
we were just talking about that. Yeah,
And so your tips have been so helpful, of course, I think for a lot of people. But as we move into the warmer or milder weather going forward and that spring feeling, a lot of people are thinking, okay, I don't need that comfort food anymore. I just want to have like a nice fresh, sort of clean kind of eating plan, right?
I know I've been just feeling like oh, I crave salads, right?
Yeah,
like
you do.
Something about it's still light after work. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Those springtime feelings kick in. So I thought we'd do some prep ahead salads. And as I was saying before, like if Tanya said, she's like, do you spend all day in the kitchen?
Yeah,
I'm like, no, I don't. I'm like, if I don't have something prepared, I'll eat a spoonful of peanut butter and go back to work. Like, so I really love.
So you're like everyone.
Yeah. So
that's what I love.
And that wasn't working for me, right?
No.
So I started to develop these little prep ahead techniques and trying things out until all of a sudden I was like, people were like, how do you do this? So I'm like, I can teach you.
Yeah, no, and that's just it, right? If you're not organized, it is so easy to fall into either bad habits or just really, not like depriving yourself, not nourishing properly. So
for sure.
If it's in front of you, it's one of those things where you'll eat it, right? If it's in the fridge, you've made it ahead of time, it's like, okay, that's what we have to eat tonight.
Yeah.
So this is prep ahead salads, which I think could be used for not only dinner, but you could prep ahead for the week for work, for lunches, all sorts of things.
These ones are probably more of a traditional mason jar salad. So you can see I've got like a super random smattering of containers here. I'm all about use what you've got.
Yeah.
If you've got mason jars, use those. If you don't, find what you like. This is what people know as the gravy shaker, right? It works amazing. If you use it twice a year to make gravy, use it the rest of the year for your salad.
That's a good idea.
So so these would be like individual portions for lunch kind of thing. So let's get started so we don't not going too long here. So I've got 1 clove of garlic and just a little bit of ginger in the bottom. And so I'm doing my dressing from scratch, which I like to have that control.
I do too.
It's an extra step though. So if you have like an Asian sesame dressing that you love, just put a couple tablespoons in the bottom of your container, right? Like,
it doesn't have to be an at-home recipe.
No, take shortcuts because you're still going to have all those veggies and protein and everything else ready to go. Like, who cares if the salad dressing is not from scratch? If that's what makes it easier for you, go with it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I just chopped those up in my little chopper.
My favorite little chopper.
Now
that looks really
smells
fun.
Awesome in here.
Yeah, it really does.
You can't really see what I'm doing. I'm behind all my stuff here. So let's move
there you
here.
go.
Okay, so I'm going to add, what am I doing? 3. Sorry, I got to do my conversions. My recipe is for 1 salad.
Oh, okay. You're making it tricky and doing 2.
I know. I'm doing it in my head. I'm doing 3. I got 1, 2, 3 containers.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
don't make it easy on yourself, Amanda.
I know. I should just make the recipe for like, when do you ever make 1 salad? That's
another thing. So I've done it where I've made a salad in the night before or something, and then I've gone, why didn't I just make 2 of those or 3 of them? Because I could have had lunch made now for those 2 or 3 days ahead. Like, why didn't I just do that?
Yeah. So I put about maybe 2 tablespoons of lemon juice in there. I don't know, just guesstimating, right? And again, I use fresh lemon
too, right? Like whatever you want to do.
Yeah. If you don't like the acidity as much, use less. And I use fresh lemons, but I often use just the lemon that comes in a jar.
Lemon.
Yeah, the lemon juice.
Lemon juice.
Yeah. The recipe calls for honey, but my honey is like solid, so I'm going to go with maple syrup.
Yep.
Right?
Always a safe bet.
Whoops.
Sweeten it up a little bit.
So I'm going to do about 3 teaspoons of that, so that's like 1 teaspoon per salad.
Okay.
What's next? Soy sauce. I'm going to add about 1.5 tablespoons of that.
Okay. Is this like your go-to, or do you change up your homemade recipes for dressings every so often?
I use this one quite a bit. I really like this Asian salad.
It goes with a lot.
Yeah. But I have another one that I do. Like, I do a taco salad a lot with ground beef, and I just use Greek yogurt and salsa. Actually, I don't even make a dressing.
Wow.
So I put the Greek yogurt and salsa right in the bottom, and
I like that.
Yeah. And then the recipe calls for olive oil and sesame oil, but I'm going straight sesame because I love it.
Yes.
So again, we're
good.
customizing.
When it's an Asian salad too, especially.
Yeah. If you don't like the flavor of sesame as much, then do like
Yeah.
a teeny bit of it
Yeah.
and put the olive oil in. And then I'm just going to put a bit of salt and pepper just to. And
Okay. And you've already pre-cut your veggies, so
I
that's
have
good news.
pre-cut my veggies. Yeah, I know. I'm
Which
cognizant
I
we
think
don't
we
have
should
all
always
day.
do anyway. Why don't we all do that?
Right?
To
So
begin the week.
just going to give that a bit of a mix and then add a little bit. So you start with your layers. This is
Okay.
how it can stay fresh for like 5 days. You put your liquid, your dressing on the bottom,
Good tip.
and then you add your crunchier vegetables. So it's almost like they're going to marinate all
Yeah.
week. So we'll put a little bit of carrots into each one.
Okay.
This is the strategy for these salads, right? And once you get it down, you can do virtually any salad. You just have to know the order,
Yeah.
right? A little bit of cabbage.
Cabbage.
So, and you could like snap peas are good to put at this point.
Yeah. Anything you want,
Cauliflower,
really.
broccoli.
It depends on what you like.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just it. Or what
So.
you have in the fridge.
Or what you have in the fridge, exactly. Yeah. And then I'm going to go with a little bit of red pepper.
Okay.
Oh, I probably should have put. I do have frozen edamame here.
You could throw that in too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I always have some in my freezer because it stays
good.
in the freezer,
Yeah,
right?
we have it too.
Yeah. So it's easy to add to get some extra fiber and
Yeah.
protein into your meals. So like you can see, I'm super scientific about this, right?
This is so, I love this right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like throw in what you like, just make sure you layer it in the proper order. So your crunchier veggies.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna add some chicken because I want this to be a complete meal. Oh, I
Okay.
forgot my sesame seeds in my dressing, but that's okay, we can add them. I found this, I haven't used this before. It's like a prepackaged
Yeah.
cooked chicken.
Looks good.
Usually I use like rotisserie chicken
Yeah.
that I cut up or like extra, like I cook extra chicken breasts on purpose,
Yeah.
right? To cut up and put in here. But the pre-cooked is a little bit pricier, but honestly, if that helps you get it done,
Yeah, then do it.
it's cheaper than hitting the drive-through and eating a burger and fries. And
Okay,
right?
we're going to come back, Amanda.
Yep. Okay.
We're not done with Amanda, so
Okay.
stay with us. We're back, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We have Amanda McKean here, and we are talking about prepping for sort of that fresh feeling when it comes to food, vegetables. Amanda, in our other segment, you were doing the prep ahead salads with some fresh vegetables, and it looks so delicious.
Yeah,
so now you're finished doing the finishing touches on that.
Yeah, we got all of our like dressing veggies and protein in there. The last step was to add lettuce.
Add the lettuce.
Add the lettuce. So the lettuce stays at the top and then it stays dry. It
So
doesn't get
that's how
soggy.
you keep it fresh.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
that's the trick. And you can make them directly into whatever container you have at home, as you said, and then it's ready to go. And don't make one, make three.
Or four or five.
Or five.
Yeah, that.
Because you're cutting up all the vegetables, and that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks so good. So
can
then you
see.
just leave it. You don't shake it. You don't do anything.
Nope.
You just leave it until you're ready to eat it.
Yeah. And then what you're going to do when you're ready to eat it is you literally just dump it upside down into a bowl. And the dressing just like whoosh
down.
over all your,
Smart.
yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, and that was with a homemade dressing, but if you have one in the fridge you like, that's fine too. The next recipe you wanted to show us is what? Cauliflower?
Cauliflower.
looks like?
I've noticed it's been on sale quite a bit lately, and
is
I'm
always a
like,
bonus.
yep. So one of the things that I hate about prepping dinner is that it takes so long to chop everything. So I thought I'd do cauliflower steaks because it's less
Cauliflower
chopping.
steaks.
Yeah.
I love that.
So
yeah, it's just like the one cut.
yeah, I just cut the like leaves
Yep.
off the bottom, and then I'm just cutting them into about 1 inch. And they do kind of fall apart, but I just throw it on,
fine.
right?
Yeah. That's what cauliflower does.
Yeah.
And you could just throw it on top.
We do have a couple like nice
Yes, that
right?
looks good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
But this,
I love cauliflower.
like anything that speeds it up. If I have to chop like all of these into individual little pieces and just like
Make
this
them look
takes
like
forever.
perfect little trees or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
No.
So I'm just gonna throw that all on my baking sheet. I do have a like nonstick silicone mat on there. That's just a personal preference. You can see mine's very well loved. It's very brown.
Yeah. Well, I can imagine. You do a lot of cooking.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna do about this container. I think is about half a cup. So I'm gonna put olive oil in that. Although you might use avocado, I think olive oil got really expensive all of a sudden there.
It did. I bought it the other day.
Yeah. So whatever oil you have,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
I do about a teaspoon of salt, pepper as you like it.
Yeah,
A little
depends
bit
on your
less.
taste,
Yeah. A teaspoon of garlic. And you can't go wrong here if you want to use onion powder, basil, oregano, right? Like and
Whatever
then,
spices you have in the cupboard.
And I really, really like smoked paprika.
Yeah, it's so good.
So I just put salt, pepper, and then like 2 other spices, and I mix that up, and I brush my cauliflower steaks.
Oh, okay.
So, and those go into the oven for about 20 minutes,
And that's
they're
it?
done. So
Wow.
you can see how fast that is. Like if I've got chicken already in the oven,
Yeah.
I put this in the oven. I don't have to worry about flipping it. It's not as stressful as cooking in a frying pan or steaming. I don't know, right? Like I can go sit down and read a book, or I can get started on the dishes or packing lunches.
It's like, and it's no mess either, right? Like it's a lot less, you're not using a ton of dishes as you say, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that looks good. So about 20 minutes is the best.
That's it. That's all it takes to get this cooked. I do find it freezes really well too. I think the oils maybe help the flavor, I don't know, everything stick together in the freezer. So like when cauliflower is on sale, I'll buy 3 or 4 and do like 3 sheet pans at once.
And then freeze some of them.
Yeah, and then I have it for, oh shoot, I don't have time to make veggies tonight. I just pull it out and stick it in the microwave, and we have something homemade ready to go.
Oh, that's great. It doesn't take away from the taste at all.
Yeah, no, I find it works really well.
That's all, because we've talked about that with you before, which vegetables are good to freeze, which ones are a little trickier, but that's a good idea. Excellent.
Most roasted vegetables. Something about roasting, it really makes them freeze well. Yeah.
Well, I guess if you think about it too, like if you buy the frozen cauliflower rice or whatever, it does. It freezes.
Yeah.
I love it. Look at those. They're beautiful.
Done. Yeah.
That looks good. And your salads. So easy, so simple. Thank you so much, Amanda. Always a pleasure. There's more information on the screen to reach out to Amanda. Check out her website, Inspired Eats. And of course, there's more there with Facebook and Instagram. And she's got so many great ideas. So you'll want to take a look at I love looking at your website. You want to look at her website and then reach out to her. She'll come to your house and cook for you. There's more information. Thanks for joining us. We're right back.